So, I want to get into the story about how I started manifesting really easygoing shifts at work. I work with kids with behavior issues, kids with mental health issues, and it can be a very high risk, potentially violent workplace. And sometimes going to work can be scary. It depends on what type of kids you're working with that day and where you're working. I used to work in a group home that was run by our Children's Aid Society, and it was the place where kids went when they had nowhere else to go. They couldn't even find a foster home for these kids, and because they were just so high needs. So it was up to us to maintain these kids' lives and I guess sort of be a parent role for them. Picture yourself in a house with one other staff and 6 kids max with all various behavior issues and disorders and mental health issues and addiction issues. You just need your shift to go well, and a lot of the time people are going home stressed out, bruised, bleeding possibly. And so, like work can be scary. And I always affirmed, like at first I was just trying it out because it's when I started learning more about what you talk about all the time becomes your reality. So I just started affirming, whenever I come to work, my shifts run so smoothly. Everything is so fun and relaxed, and I have the best shifts ever. Every time I go to work, my shifts run so smooth. My shifts are the best. My coworkers are amazing. I'm always working with great people. Everyone's always in a great mood. And no matter what the shift was like, I still said it. It doesn't matter if the house was upside down. I still affirmed the positive and had no feeling or attachment to what I was saying. I just would affirm the positive. And wouldn't you know it, I started noticing slowly more and more shifts were becoming easier, more fun, more fluid, or I would just miss all the big crazy stuff. Now, before I get into that, whenever I had a shift that worked out for me, well, even if I didn't, I would just after almost every shift, whenever I could remember, I would say, what a great shift. My shifts are always so smooth and fun. They go by so quickly, and I just always have the best shifts. On the days when I actually did have a really good shift, and I remembered to affirm it, because as soon as I would finish, I would say, wow, what a great shift. And then that would jog my memory into affirming, because I've already been affirming no matter what. So now it just automatically comes out of me after I have a good shift, or well, at the time. And so when I actually did have a good shift, I would like affirm it extra, because I would actually feel the feeling of, wow, it's such a great shift. And the more I said it, the more often I just had pretty great shifts. And now I don't even really need to affirm it, because it's always just assumed that my shifts are great. And if there is crisis, it's not that bad. It just added some spice to my shift, but it's not terrible. It was just a busier shift that day. Currently, I don't work at that group home anymore. It shut down. But after I was affirming, like, things were great over there. And now I work at our local hospital in the mental health unit with kids, and it's a lot better because if things get violent, we have security guards. So anyway, going back to the manifestation, I started affirming that at the hospital as well. So things are always working out for me. My shifts are always so smooth, and everybody is amazing. And like sometimes someone might be grumpy or something's not working out the way I want, but then I like take a step back and it's like, okay, let's recalibrate here. Like, we don't need to even feel this way. And then I just continue on with like a neutral feeling, and usually the shift just goes great. I find that having an attitude of you don't care. Like, I just don't care. I'm going to do another video of how I manifested a position there at that particular workplace. But I was rejected several times, so I'm gonna do a video about that and on another day. But going back to manifesting really good shifts at work, all I did was affirm it until I started noticing it, and then when I noticed it, I really banked on that. So, you know, I'm not an expert manifester. I'd say I'm intermediate, but I'm getting there, and I'm learning a lot quicker because, like, I'm affirming even when I don't see it happening. I'm still affirming. And what really taught me, the practice that really taught me this, was just trying it with something that's not super important to you. Like, having smooth shifts wasn't super important to me. Like, I could take it or leave it because it's like, I'm not terrified of my job. It's just, I know how to stay safe and whatnot. And yeah, so I didn't care too much about it. I just affirmed anyway, without a doubt, but without being too sure either. I just was like, I would just say it without any feeling or emotion attached to it. And it seemed to work out. Now my shifts are always great. Sometimes they're just too boring, but you know, like, I always have really good shifts. And also, going back to the crazy group home, there were even times when I'd leave for 10-15 minutes, I'd come back and staff would be assaulted, or there was a crisis or something going on. Like, I would even leave in the middle of my shifts, and that's when the crisis would happen. So it was crazy how I missed all that, but not too crazy because I affirmed all of it. So yeah, just if you don't see what you are trying to manifest, just keep affirming for it, and try to do it with something that you don't care about, and just affirm regularly, and then see what happens. And if you see a little bit of a hint of it, really affirm. Be like, I knew it. It's working. There's proof right here. And then keep affirming it, and eventually it will happen. I'm going to do another video, like I said, about how I got a job there, because that's interesting. I've got a bunch of things that I've manifested, like normal life things that nobody talks about. So I've got a few videos I'm going to put up of that. And yeah, if any of you guys have any like random manifestations that you affirmed for, let us know in the comments below, because it'd be helpful for other people to read that stuff, because maybe we can give each other ideas of the things we can manifest, like the easy things, the so-called easy things, because apparently manifesting $1 billion is no different than manifesting $1. So anyway, I'm always affirming that I am so happy and grateful now that I'm the world's first quadrillionaire. I think y'all should also be quadrillionaires with me. What do you say? All right, thanks for listening, and don't forget to write your own experiences, because I'd be very interested in seeing what you guys are manifesting. Okay, take care, and remember, ideas, ideas, ideas. So thanks for listening, and I look forward to reading about your experiences. Bye for now.